13 years, these two little boys named Michael and Carrie Hong have spawned an entire community. 5 seasons of this show has come out, and it's the most popular object show, and it still holds up to this day. I'm talking about none other than Battle for Dream Island. And yeah, I think it's a great series. Yeah, I barely ever have talked about it. Clearly that's what inspired me, but still, I wanted to talk about this sooner. Now I'm finally going to do it. So today I'm going to rank every single season of BFDI. No, I'm not including the mini seasons. So, let's get also PreSplit and PostSplit are going to be merged into one season because, yeah. Anyways, let's begin with... So this one is actually a tie because I had a really hard time deciding which season actually should place lower. So, these two seasons are BFB and BFDI. Now, before I continue, just know that I like every single season mostly equally. So this was an extremely hard list to decide. So why are these two tied for last place? Well, simply because I feel like I enjoy the other seasons more than these two. Don't get me wrong, I really like both of these seasons. And they are the seasons I watched the most. But I'm sorry, but back in 2020 when PostSplit was going on, especially during May to August, I freaking loved this series. I watched every episode constantly, and I always wanted to be involved with it myself, but I've never seen myself liking the series that much. But that's not an insult because I had nothing else to do due to stuff I won't get into. And I made a set of them, but back on track, not just memories. And these two seasons are something. Like, they both have pretty weird bumps in quality, to be honest with you. On one side, you have BFDIA, which you have the first 3 episodes really good. Episode 4, which has the rigging vote, that has the vote that was rigged. And then episode 5, which is the 5-parter with the video game as the second part. Yeah, like we totally see that all the time. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it's really, really off. But then you have BFB. Oh boy, where do I even start with BFB? I'm sorry, but I liked the new episodes when they came out in 2020, but BFB 16 is my least favorite episode in the entire series. Saying that right now, it caused so much drama in the OSC that it's not even funny. Luckily, once Teapot came out, that drama stopped. Like, completely stopped. And I'm honestly relieved because PostSplit was pretty terribly received. Like, some people liked it, some people hated it. It was probably one of the most controversial parts of BFDI's history, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong. I actually quite like PostSplit still, but it's a really weird time. So, what about the positives for both of these? Well, BFDIA was really fun for episodes. I mean, besides those disadvantages I talked about with this season 2, I think the episodes are mostly really fun. Yeah. And I feel like it was a stepping stone for another season that is much better in its execution, in my opinion. Well, with BFB, it was also really fun for most of the episodes. But there's one thing I think that, like, both of these seasons are pretty same in quality to me. But there's one thing in one of these seasons that actually put it above the other if I had to decide, and that would be BFB 30. Yeah, the finale was so good that I was able to save BFB from last place. I'm sorry, BFDIA got canceled, but BFB was able to finish, so I feel like that's enough to put BFB above. Sorry, BFDIA fans. Anyways, they're both pretty same in quality. I think the next year way better, like miles and miles better. So let's move on to that, shall we? To clarify, 5th place was BFDIA, 4th place is BFB, and now a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on this pick. 3rd place is IDFB. Well, this sounds crazy, but IDFB used to be my favorite season because of its non-competition style, but my opinion has really changed since then. Don't get me wrong, Island Dream for Battle is a freaking amazing work of art, and it's really entertaining, and like story-wise it's awesome, entertainment-wise it's amazing. Everything about this episode is this one freaking episode. It was enough to put it above a 5 or 9 episode season, if you count episode 5 being different episodes, and a 30 episode season. One episode was enough to put it above both of those. Yeah, that's how good this episode is. In fact, it must be my favorite episode of the entire freaking series. I cannot fabric how much I like this one episode. The only reason this is ranked number 3, because trust me, I feel really bad for ranking the season with my favorite episode of the series this low. It's really not that low, but still it's kind of low. But still, the only reason it's still not higher is because I wish there was more episodes, and hopefully they're actually in production right now. So number 2 is The Power of Two, or Battle for Dream Island, The Power of Two, or BFDI Teapot, or Teapot. I'm getting carried away. Somebody help me. Why is Teapot better than IDFB? Well, because it has more episodes. Yeah, I know that's kind of a dumb reason. You might be asking that because I said that IDFB has my favorite episode of the entire series. So they're both around the same in quality. It's the only thing that's holding IDFB down is less episodes. And I guess you can say, I'll say this. Teapot has a slightly more developed plot. Like, it's more than contestants just trying to battle for a prize. There's actually a lot more story arcs than in BFB, IDFB, BFDI, or BFDIA. This episode 1 and 2 really encapsulate that, but once Tommy left as of Teapot 3, a lot of the arcs in the first 2 episodes are sort of forgotten, or just they didn't want to go forward with it. Best example, Winter and Clock. What else more could I say? See, yeah. I mean, episode 3 has that plot as a good predictor, leaves that plot as at a pretty good place, but episode 4, 5, and 6 do absolutely nothing with it. Same thing goes for Eggy and Teardrop. I think this would allow Eggy to be a lot more liked, as Teardrop was already really loved by people. And speaking of which, I'm glad that Teardrop actually ended up joining this season. My favorite 2 characters are probably Winner and Teardrop. Eraser and Coiny. So yeah, and Remote too. So I'm sorry, I don't have much to say about this season. It's just really good, and I hope this is the most current season of BFDI, and I hope they do better as this season goes on. There are a lot of also another one of my all-time favorite BFDI characters are Pillow, Fries, and Puffball. I'm sorry, they're all really good in this season. They didn't do much in BFB or BFDIA or IDFB, but this season has them at their peaks. Anyways, I think we all know what number 1 is, so let's just get straight into it. Come on, you all know what it is at this point. My favorite season of BFDI and one of my favorite object shows is none other than the original, the one that started it all. The first season, none other than Battle for Dream Island. So what can I really say about this season? It's so much freaking fun that I can't even exaggerate. The characters here are so wacky. It's a wonderful, freaking phenomenal way to get this series started. It introduced any kinds of things that we still see to this day. Balance beam things, do every challenge in the season, and mean characters, nice characters. All of these tropes introduced in this one season. And since it's the first ever object show, it can actually get away with it. And many people have actually expanded on these tropes to make them more interesting. And the challenges, the eliminations are just freaking awesome. Challenges are fun, exciting, and interesting. It's just a bunch of silliness and randomness, but you know what? I'll take it. This season does what it wants to do freaking perfectly. I say that because BFDI 25, the finale didn't do that, didn't just change the tone. Don't get it, I still like that episode, but it doesn't fit with the rest of this season. It feels more like a teapot or late BFB episode. I don't know, man. This season is just phenomenal in every way because it's just a great way to get this freaking community started. All these communities, unique people, great art and animation, writing and voice acting. If there's anything the object show community can agree on, it's that this has to be one of the best object shows of all time. And more specifically, the first season of BFDI, the best season of the series. So yeah, that was my rankings. Keep in mind that this is all my opinion. If you have your own, that's great. I'd like to hear it in the comments. But anyways, thanks for watching. And this is one of my longer videos. I hope I can upload more of these in the future. Anyways, see you in the next video.